folks. Just a short video about my new Fodera Dream Bass, which I just realized I have had for like a year now, and I haven't done any video about this bass. I have had a few Foderas through my lifetime, and this is the ultimate build for me. It takes a lot of years to experience what you like and what you prefer. So this is I believe, it's the ultimate Fodera build for me. We'll see in like 10 years. Before I talk about the bass, I will like to tell I had another McGarrison 5-string build for me with almost the same specs as this one. It had a beautiful Bolivian rosewood top, which was really amazing. Similar specs, but the neck was 33-inch scale, and this is 30.75-inch scale, so a bit different here. That bass was really amazing, and I had it for like 10 years and played. I've done a lot of gigs with it and recorded my albums and some other people's albums with this bass, and it was really unique bass to me. Before I tell more about this bass, I want to show you why I decided to get this one. So this bass was the bass that got it started for me about getting a new build. This bass is of course a different shape. It is an Imperial 2 Elite, and it was not built for me. It was built for the great bass player Jacob Smith from United States. He had this bass built at the same time as my Bolivian rosewood bass, and we had a lot of emails between us about specs and what he liked, and he did help me a lot with different Fodera models and wood types. So he had this bass for like 10 years, and then he decided to sell it, and luckily for me I was able to buy it. Almost the same specs as my Bolivian rosewood, my McGarrison signature, but this is a bit different. Of course it has a holland top wood, which is white and not paint. Same specs with the 33-inch scale ebony fingerboard. We have the dual colors in the McGarrison precision and the McGarrison preamp layout. The difference between this and my Bolivian rosewood is this is a 17.5mm string spacing. If I turn it around, you can see we have a beautiful walnut body and a flamed maple tone block, as well as a maple neck with purple heart stringers. And then the back of the headstock we also have a holly wood cap. So the main difference between this bass and my Bolivian was the neck, the tone block, and the string spacing. Regarding the string spacing, I prefer 16.5mm string spacing. I don't think, to me at least, there's a big difference between 17.5 or 6.5mm, especially when playing with the right hand. Why not get 90mm like most 5-string basses are? And that's because of the neck can sometimes get too wide for me, so I tend to prefer a more narrow neck, and 16.5 or 17.5mm string spacing helps with that. Another great thing with this bass, that has a 3-way switch, so you can switch between the dual coil, so you can use the front coil or the back coil. If you use the front coil, it's called 60s position, and if you use the coil closer to the bridge, it's preferred as the 70s position. Of course, you can use a dual coil on both pickups and you do the switch. So if you favor the neck pickup, you can use the front pickup or the back coil. I don't think it adds that much different, especially when using the neck pickup. But if you go to the bridge pickup and you use the 70s mode or the 60s mode, it adds some different flavors to it. Sometimes when you use the 70s mode, it can get a bit too nasal, clunky sounding. But if you use the 60s mode, it gets the bridge pickup sound, but a bit more mellow, and really great for soldering. I tend to prefer the bridge pickup. So use it in the 60s position is a really nice feature. So I had to have that also on my new build. Most people that play walnut basses know that walnut is a heavy wood. This bass weighs 4.7 kilos, so it's a bit heavier than most other basses. So when you play gigs or long gigs, it can be a bit tiring on the shoulders or on the back. You're not getting any younger, at least not me. Therefore, the new bass, I wanted also walnut, but I prefer to have it chambered. I'm just gonna switch the bass. It brings back to the build here. Of course, I like the magnification shape. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a really nice Fodera shape. It's so original, and I really like the whole body vibe. It's really nice. I like the holly top, so of course I got a holly top on this one. Ebony fingerboard, 26 frets. I also prefer to have 3 and 2 for the tuners. A little side note is that I play E to C, the same position, dual coils and magnification position, magnification layout, 16.5mm string spacing, and I have to switch to use inner coil or outer coil. If you flip it around, you have a walnut body, and this body is chambered, and the weight is like 4 kilos, so a bit lighter than the other one. It have all tone block, and for the neck I went with maple, but this time roasted maple. I think it's very beautiful. Maybe you can see the flame on the side here, the headstock, yeah. And it's a short scale, just like the headless basses. The magnification headless is also short scale. I did play a few of the headless ones, and they were really nice, but I really prefer to have the headstock. I think it's such a beautiful headstock, especially Fodera headstock. So I couldn't go with a headless, even though it might be a bit easier to travel with. Therefore, I reached out to Mike Bendy at Fodera and asked if he could do the Mini, but with a headstock, and also so it could fit in a guitar gig bag. I have my mono gig bag here. It's a guitar gig bag, and it slips right into it here, so now I can feel like a guitar player. Okay, so that was a big thing for me to have it made so it could fit in the guitar case. It makes it a bit easier to travel with and just gig with overall. So it's a bit more compact. I don't think it affects the sound at any point, especially when I play E to C. I think the strings is a bit more loose, but it feels fine to me. Mike Bendy thought it was possible to do, and he talked with the Fodera team if they could build me the short scale with a headstock that could fit in a gig bag, and they did. They did an amazing job. This bass just feels amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy about the way the bass turned to be. Such an amazing bass. I could easily just play this one for the rest of my life and sell my other Fodera basses. Just kidding. It's a really amazing bass, and I'm looking forward to bring many years playing this instrument. I just want to let you know. Thank you. Take care.